Minister of the Environment addresses the massive dead tilapia die-off in the Great Salt Pond. Minister of Finance says he has met with the unions and how best to move forward. But first up, President of the Windward Island Chamber of Labor Union says she would need a mandate from her membership. Those are the headlines for Wednesday, May the 27th, 2020.
They know our strength, and guess what? They're more afraid of us. They're more afraid of us. They're more afraid of us. So let's stop playing games.
And this is SXM Daily News. I'm Valerie Van Putten. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. We have a packed newscast for you, so let's get started. At the unified membership meeting of Monday last regarding the salary cut proposals for civil servants, full vacation allowance and no cuts in their benefits are just two of the points that are off the table, according to President of the WICLU, the Chamber of Labor Unions, Claire Elshot, at the unified membership meeting of Monday last, which was held at the Little League Stadium. No cuts in acquired benefits was another point that the president is against. She said that she would need a mandate from the membership. She then read the 4-point mandate.
I have here, and I would read, because I would need the mandate from the membership here so that we can present on Thursday. Mandate number 1. Just make sure your hands are up if you are for this mandate. All the hands, I want to see everybody on the sideline. All the sidelines too, you're being covered with my vision 2020. All cuts on our benefits off the table. No cuts in our acquired benefits, so salary, allowances, etc. Respect our progressive economic, social, and cultural rights. Workers' rights is human rights. That is mandate number 1. So mandate number 1, in other words, is saying, what do you want? 50% vacation allowance? How much the percent should mean? 100% vacation allowance. So come the 15th, you would need to have the full vacation allowance. Okay? So that is mandate number 1. Number 2, since human rights and workers' rights, we are asking your corporation, as we demand this to the St. Martin come, which this demand will then go to the Council of Ministers. The mandate number 2, the demand will also go to the Parliament, to the Kingdom come, to the second chamber, if it's there you find Mr. Knoop, to the second chamber, and copies of our mandate would be going to the governor. We would also be looking in solidarity, because we are not in this by ourselves. Aruba Curacao is also here in this. So the COM of Aruba Curacao, the COM of Aruba Curacao would also be informed. The Parliament, of Aruba Curacao, Aruba and Curacao unions, they also will be informed. I already initially have contact with the CTEC union, teachers union, so all the other unions that have their brother unions and sister unions in Curacao and Aruba would be informed. The Dutch unions would be informed. The regional unions, Caribbean Union of Teachers, has already been showing their solidarity with us. And all international labor fraternities would also be informed. That is our mandate number.
Meanwhile, the Waifu President also said that these measures always come back to bite us. We never had a COVID before, but these measures are always being reintroduced.
These things are not of today. They always come back to bite us. We never had a COVID before, but these measures always are being reintroduced over and over to what? To divide and rule us. Now it is more visual that this is that. So to get solidarity also from the unions in the region, because if Holland can give Dominica after Irma and Irma and Maria, if they can give them this amount of money after COVID, if Italy can get, and then no 0% no payback, it's like a grant. It was such a nice grant that their Prime Minister, Mr. Skerritt, could have built houses. And then here in St. Martin, we still have houses without roofs, and monies for this hurricane relief is parked in the World Bank. I don't know which part, because World Bank starts with the same W like Windward Island Bank, but the money is not parked in Windward Island Bank in Phillipsburg. 200 and something million is still parked in the World Bank, and we still have people here without roof and without house being rebuilt. And Skerritt could have campaigned and just give the elderly, the young, and everybody a key to their home. That was really nice of him. So to get solidarity and to inform, this one is very important, because this is the step we have to go, to inform the Office of the High Commission of Human Rights in Geneva. Inform the ILO Regional Office in Trinidad and Tobago. There's these information, and all of this have to reach to that level, so that the nice kingdom would know that we have human rights, we have trade union rights, we have workers' rights. My brother is just telling me here, he just spoke to the ILO. That is the ILO Caribbean office in Trinidad, and is requested to send information of this meeting. But guess what? While I was sitting on my phone, I didn't see this meeting already all over Facebook. So no problem, because if you in here could have put this on Facebook, the whole of St. Martin is seeing it. Our CON is seeing it. Our parliament members are seeing it, because they like belly, they like to know what's going on. They like to know what is going on. They have people scrutinizing and seeing everything that we are talking. So that's why, right now, before closing, we need to move a motion on how, based on these three mandates, on how we're going to continue. They are waiting for us on Thursday with contra proposals. So proposal number 1. No? Hello? I hear it no. So I don't know already. No means N-O. No. Do we have power to move that no? Let our hands be shown. Let us show of hands. No. The show of hands for no. I see a few brothers there smiling, because probably those are the ones that didn't show their hands, are the ones that the minister referred to in the meeting and saying, I have people in my cabinet that are willing to take a cut. Well, brother, with all due respect, if you take a cut, put it in writing and go by yourself. But when the unions are standing together, it is no cut. So all who volunteering to take a cut, put it in writing, give it to the Minister of Finance, have your cut. Very good. But in solidarity, all here present today, Monday, the 25th of May, all of them say no. All of them said no. All of them will continue to say no. That's the people I like.
And still to come, Prime Minister of St. Martin addresses salary cuts of civil servants. We'll have the details to that story and more when SXM Daily News returns.
GEBE has been faithfully serving the communities of St. Martin, powering your home and our economy. Come rain or shine, our qualified team of professionals are working hard 24 hours a day to provide you and your family with safe, reliable electricity and water. We use the latest technologies and test our products daily to maintain the highest international standards. Our friendly staff is always there to assist you, whether in person, over the phone, or online. We are committed to constantly improving our products and services, making them more efficient, effective, and environmentally friendly to serve you better today and our next generation of clients tomorrow. GEBE, powering a brighter future.
Our friend Megawati is here with tips to save you energy. 1. Turn your airco temperature up. 2. Use a ceiling fan instead. 3. Buy energy-saving products. Save some green with NVGEBE.
And as we continue now with more news, at the Council of Ministers weekly press briefing of today, Wednesday, May the 27th, Minister of Finance Ardwell Idion on the Kingdom government said that he had met with the unions and how best to move forward with the current reality. The minister said he had hoped for the best from the Netherlands, but that was not the case. The minister also fielded a question from one of the reporters regarding the business sector and the payroll deductions.
You may have heard we met with the unions on a couple of occasions to see how to best move forward with our current reality. I had initially hoped for the best from the Netherlands, which would have been a loan to avoid having to make additional major cuts, but that was not the case. When presented with the facts that we may need to cut civil servants' personnel costs, I contacted the unions and requested a meeting to see how we could best move forward and that we make our own decisions to have these cuts. On Monday, I provided updated measures to the unions on the 12.5% personnel cut that was requested by the Netherlands for the loan. I suggested a 50% vacation pay cut for this year and next year, an additional 50% vacation pay for a total of 100% over the year. In addition to that, uniforms will be cut, overtime will be cut, but not for the frontline workers. I'm hoping to see a critical and realistic counter-proposal from them if they are not in agreement. I personally don't think that everyone will be able to or should have to take a 12.5% salary cut. That is too significant of an amount for many civil servants. And again, we should always protect our most vulnerable. I also believe that with the other loans from the Netherlands, we would need to make cuts in general. The cuts are not just for government, the cuts are also in the need to support the SSRP, also those in income and unemployment programs.
As to whether or not, if they get an 80% support through SSRP, do they have to include the additional 20% up to a full 100% of salary when they go to pay the employees, or is it acceptable for them to just pay their employees at the 80% level, knowing that they're going to full well make all the statutory, the payroll deductions, taxes, S&B, et cetera?
If a company qualifies for 80%, it is expected that the company pays the other 20%. We have the person that has the contract with the company, they already have a legal contract that says, I am expected to be paid this amount. To be paid at a lesser amount, the working hours, for example, would then have to be adjusted. I will say this, that in the conditions from the Netherlands, in their conditions, they expect this even more. They want to see that the employee contributes, and they want to see specifically that the employer contributes. And if the employer, for example, cannot contribute the amount of 100%, then they would like in their conditions for the working hours to be adjusted. So there is a possibility that for further funding of the SSRP and meeting the conditions of the Netherlands, adjustments will have to be made from the July month going forward. But yes, currently it is expected that a company meets the legal obligations to their employees.
Meanwhile, Prime Minister of St. Martin, the Honorable Sylvia Jacobs, addressed the salary cuts of civil servants at the weekly Council of Ministers press briefing on Wednesday morning, May the 27th, 2020. The Honorable Prime Minister said that if they were to go along with the unions and not accept any cuts whatsoever, they are putting those who are paying into the coffers, and the employees would eventually be out of jobs and would eventually fall under government's responsibility.
If we were to go along with what the unions are saying and they don't accept any cuts whatsoever, we are therefore putting those persons that have actually been paying into our coffers, because taxes come from businesses and come from employees. And at this moment, several of these businesses are unable to function, and therefore all of these employees would either lose their pay completely or be out of jobs, and at the end of the day would still fall on government's responsibility, seeing that this is a pandemic and the economic downfall is a direct result thereof. As a result of us already being in a very bad liquid position, in fact, awaiting liquidity support since 2019 from our Dutch Kingdom partners, which is a loan as well, we were in a position whereby we had to look at government's expenditures and make the necessary cuts. We cut as much as we could on the operational level, and then were forced to also look at the personnel level. On the personnel level, if one can remember, we presented to the union several weeks ago the cuts that would only touch the medium to high income earners in the matter of cutting of vacation pay and 10% of persons earning more than 8,000 guilders. Persons earning below 4,000 guilders or 4,000 guilders and below were not proposed to meet any cuts whatsoever, not in vacation pay and also not in salary or any other, perk that comes with being a civil servant. This was totally rejected, and a very unrealistic proposal was presented by the unions. We did receive this, and then in the meantime, not having a definite proposal to give to our kingdom partners, there were conditions laid down that it was either take it or leave it. Many have been out there talking about what has government done in accepting these conditions. Do we agree with these conditions? I can say unequivocally no. I do not agree that in a time of a distress that government is forced to make a choice between being able to pay their personnel, even the basic of what is expected, as well as meet the needs for all those who receive subsidies, such as schools, such as daycare centers, such as White and Yellow Cross, such as, and I can continue. Many organizations rely on government's income for sustenance, to be able to be sustainable, to be able to give service. And as such, when we got these conditions, we lined them up next to the conditions or the measures we were prepared to take, and only a few, such as the pension reform and those other types, fell outside of what we felt we should do as a country that was trying to stand on its own feet. If you look around the Caribbean, you will see many independent countries have also cut their expenditures, including salaries and or the personnel package of government-related workers, government-owned companies, and the like. We are not unique. This is a pandemic that is worldwide. Economic development has been affected worldwide. As such, we met with our unions again on Friday. We gave them a clear proposal on Monday, midday as promised, And we're supposed to get a response on Thursday, as well as, if not agreeing with our proposal, a new proposal, a counter proposal from them. But don't be fooled. We have to make cuts. We have to make cuts. Had we refused the aid from the Dutch, which the unconditional part amounts to 24 million guilders, we would not be able to afford what the minister was just talking about in payments for June of the SSRP. We would not be able to assist all those persons who currently are being assisted through the SSRP. This would mean several thousands people would have zero income, would have 20% or 30%, and businesses would shut down. Is that what we would want on St. Martin? Is that how we are looking out for our fellow man? I think not. I don't think that civil servants are selfish. In fact, I am going to ensure that our civil servants get it from the horse's mouth, not only from the unions who have their own agenda. We will be sending out a letter inviting our employees to an information session whereby they can ask questions and receive answers directly from the Council of Ministers.
And tomorrow, May 28, 2020, the unions will be meeting with government at 12 noon to discuss the Kingdom government and the union's proposal. SXM Daily News will be bringing you highlights and the outcome of that meeting. Now, turning to our weather forecast for May the 27th, 2020. Most of the active weather associated with a passing weak tropical wave will remain south of the local area. However, periods of clouds and isolated showers are possible at times, while the weakened Atlantic high-pressure system will maintain mostly gentle winds. Slight to moderate seas are expected through the next few days. Tropical storm Bertha formed this morning near South Carolina at 11 a.m. It had maximum sustained winds of 50 miles per hour. However, this system poses no threat to St. Martin. And the outlook through Friday midday, partly cloudy with a few showers possible. Now, let's turn to your 3-day forecast. And still to come, the Windward Islands Bank Limited extends a moratorium on loans, mortgages, and credit cards. We'll have the details to that story and much more when SXM Daily News returns.
Make use of WIB mobile banking with easy access and direct usage of face recognition, PIN code, or fingerprint. Download WIB mobile banking app and make your transaction from anywhere at any time. For more information, visit wib-bank.net/quick-login.
And as SXM Daily News continues at this time, the Nature Foundation St. Martin received reports of a massive fish die-off in the channel between the Great Salt Pond and the freshwater pond in Phillipsburg on Monday, the 25th of May. Upon arrival at the location, about 1,000 tilapia fish had already died in the area and were floating in the channel at the Great Salt Pond. A decrease of oxygen levels in the pond water probably caused the massive fish die-off. And the Minister of the Environment, the Honorable Egber Doran, addressed the matter in his weekly Council of Ministers press briefing on Wednesday, May the 27th, 2020.
Yesterday, May 26th, the Ministry of Environment was informed by various alerts from persons within the community, including the Nature Foundation, in regards to a large quantity of dead fish that was spotted between the channel of the Great Salt Pond and the Fresh Pond. It is believed that this regrettable incident was caused due to the drop in oxygen levels, which occurred from the increase in temperature we have been experiencing over the last couple of days. The ministry, after having been informed of the matter at hand, immediately mobilized the staff of the Department of Infrastructure Management in order to arrange the cleanup, which included discarding of the dead fish out of the crossing.
And in other news at this time, the Windward Islands Bank extends moratorium on loans, mortgages, and credit cards for an additional 3 months. Clients of the Windward Islands Bank Limited can breathe a sigh of relief as the bank is offering more relief for persons with loans, mortgages, and credit cards at the financial institution. In an effort to continue its support to clients in difficult times, the bank has opted to automatically extend its moratorium on personal loans, commercial loans, mortgage loans, and credit cards by 3 additional months. In March, the bank was amongst the first to announce that it was granting a 3-month moratorium on loans, mortgages, and credit cards for the months of March, April, and May to ease the burden on its clients in anticipation of the impact of the coronavirus COVID-19. According to the bank, for the extended moratorium during the months of June, July, and August, clients' monthly payment on principal and interest will be deferred for 3 additional months, June, July, and August, whereby the initial loan term will be extended with the same number of months as the additional grace period. The monthly payment, principal, and interest will remain the same. For St. Martin clients, including commercial clients in Statia and Staba, the adjustments will be done automatically, while Statia and Sabre clients with personal loans, personal mortgages, and personal credit cards need to opt in if they want to use the use of the moratorium loans and mortgages in arrears for more than 90 consecutive days. They are not eligible for this moratorium. Clients in St. Martin who do not wish to make use of the bank's moratorium offer and who would like to maintain their current payment agreement have the option to opt out. This can be done by filling in opt-out form via their website, which is www.wibbank.net, or by submitting an email to info@wib/bank.net, or by calling WIB at telephone number 546-2942. And still to come, the Positive Foundation received donation from CIBC First Caribbean Bank Walk for the Cure. We'll have the details to that story when SXM Daily News returns. And as we end this edition of SXM News for this evening, Year 8 indeed shaped up to be a great one for the region's largest cancer fundraiser across the English and Dutch Caribbean, CIBC First Caribbean's Walk for the Cure. Partnership with the Positive Foundation and AdTelem Global Education on St. Martin heightened the awareness, raising a grand total of $16,000 for the benefit of the Positive Foundation. The donation supports the Foundation's endeavors, which are geared towards stimulating, educating, and activating the consciousness of the community on aspects of self-responsibility towards overall health, improvement, and in particular towards breast cancer since its inauguration in 1998. The Foundation has organized month-long breast cancer campaigns every October. And with that story, we've come to the end of the news. I'm Valerie Van Putten. Just a reminder that this and other programs are available online. Simply log on to stmartinmediacenter.com for viewing. And on behalf of the SXM Daily News team, we thank you for watching and plan on meeting you right back here again tomorrow.